Hello Internet, this is Roshi, and I'm back with some more Honkai Impact 3rd music reactions. I know, it has been a hot minute since I've done one of these. And you know what? I decided that it's about time I get back into it. And not only that, but to go to a format that I've been doing more so for members, where I do a few at a time, upload that, and then eventually make the compilation, put it all together for the overall audience. So that's what I'm going to do. But as you can see here on this lovely playlist made by my professor, Screaming Rose, thank you very much. I appreciate your hard work as always. You'll see that some of these I've already watched. And this is true, I have. I have reacted to Girl Inside, I have reacted to Befall, I have reacted to the short version of Teresa's theme song, and I have reacted to Night Glow. Now, those songs, they have videos for them already, so you can watch them elsewhere. I recommend it. I am not going to watch those now. We are going to move on from that, but trust me, I watched them and I had plenty to say. What I am going to start with is the long version of Teresa, skip Night Glow since I've already done it, and then continue down the list. Either way, people are going to be like, you forgot songs, and that's bound to happen regardless. Anyway, I want to listen to some Honkai Impact 3rd music right now. So that's what I'm going to do. Starting with Hoshito Kimi ga Kieta Hi, Teresa's theme song. The official Japanese lyrics. Here we go. Oh man, I remember this one now. Oh, okay. Um, wow. All right. So, I already listened to the short version of this, like I said, and I don't know if I'm going to be repeating anything. I don't know if I want to spend too much time digging into this because I already talked about my feelings for it before and interpreted it. But real quick, I'm going to say or reiterate whatever, and the chorus really hits in this song. Every single time it pulls the heartstrings. There's this sense of persistence, this ongoing drive, maybe a little bit of desperation, of it feels like a song that is trying to convey that it's trying to save someone, and in sacrifice of themselves, answer me all my might to wake you, trying their best to help you in some way, to get a response, to see if you're okay or if you're there. And then the part that hits the hardest for me, even if I can't feel anything anymore, it's so self-sacrificing. It's so like I'm doing what I need to do to help you as much as possible, even if it drives me to be numb. And that to me is, that's heavy. That's heavy stuff. Whether or not I'm interpreting that correctly, I don't know, but it is my interpretation. As you guys know, or you should know if you're watching this, I have not played this game. I do not know the characters that well. I have only speculated on some things. But yeah, those are the vibes I get from this. So whether or not it's referencing an event that happened, it's the character's theme song, so I imagine a lot of this has to do with her character, maybe how she operates, maybe, just trying to do the absolute best that she can for a really long time, and in the process somewhat losing herself. But the drive to continue is still there, right? It's almost not exactly, but kind of. I was almost going to compare it to an episode of season 1 of Free Run for a second. I can't remember character names, but there is an episode where they visit a village and they meet this dwarven man, this really ancient old dwarven guy. And his whole thing is that he promised to protect the village because it's the place his wife loved. And she's gone. She passed away, and he's lived for so long that his thing is like, for her, I protect this place. I will stand guard until the day I die. And he has done it for such a long time that it's revealed that the guy obviously has Alzheimer's. He can't remember the sound of her voice. He can't remember her face, but he still loves. And protecting the village, knowing that that's something that she cherished, is like the one thing he can do that he still holds on to in order to, I guess in a way, be at peace, to drive him to continue in any way, shape, or form, right? Very, very sad, but also has like wholesome moments, all that stuff. Yeah. So, not saying it's a parallel to exactly that, but that's the feeling I get of, I will give everything I can to help you, to save you, for your memory, whatever that is, even if it leaves me barren. And that's powerful to me. So that's how I feel when I listen to this song, especially in this length, because I get more of the chorus, and it hits harder every single time it repeats. Great song. I love it. Yeah, let's continue to the next one. Whew. All right. Already listened to Nightglow, so we're moving on to Arushi Yoruyuki, Hanser, or Hanser. I think it's probably Hanser. Let's hear what this is about. I can talk.
散らしてゆき花心と風さ 風の子供たち純白の雪花懐かしい眼差しがきらめいてく四国の雪より
Ooh. Oh, wasn't expecting that. Ooh, okay, that's another one right there. All right, let me go into this. Start talking about what I noticed right off the bat, what I really liked. I mean, the song is great. The entire feeling of it, having this piano backing it, it felt very. It felt like fantasy. It felt like, it gave me a sense of, man, what does it remind me of? I know that some people might not really like things being compared to other things because they could argue like, oh, it's nothing like that. It's not like you can't compare it because whatever came first or something. But I don't know, and it just helps me kind of put the words I want to say in my head because it reminds me of the feelings I felt when I witnessed the other thing as well. And I mean this. Yeah. The thing that I'm thinking of the most right now is the piano specifically reminded me of a few different anime. And I'm not talking about just because the song is sung in Japanese or anything like that. Like, that's not what that is. It's literally, I'm talking about the instrumentation that's in it. The piano Man, there's another one too, but the first one that pops into my head is Spice and Wolf. There's something with the piano, and then having the sound of these softer vocals. Like, it reminds me of Spice and Wolf, which is a huge compliment, because Spice and Wolf is like top 5 anime for me, personally. Unfortunately, I have not watched the remake yet. I really want to. I've been busy. But yeah, so it kind of reminded me of that. Not 100%. It did have that sudden like guitar riff like in it, and then in the backing somewhat here and there, especially towards the end, and that was unexpected. Very welcomed, but unexpected. It made the song feel kind of not all over the place, but a little more chaotic than I thought it was going to be. It started very like whimsical sounding, very fantasy, and then you got this sudden like spike of a guitar in there. And sorry, I don't know music terminology at all, so you'll have to. I'm just talking about feeling. You'll have to bear with me with that. But yeah. Other than that, the other thing that I liked is that we have 2 characters singing, and it's those characters who are singing. And we can tell by who's singing what based on the colors of the text, and how the images are highlighted of said characters. Now, that's awesome. So props to the person who put this together. I believe their name is over here. I do not know how to say that. Or it's right here too, I think. Yes. Why Yexelixi? I don't know. Great job. This kind of video made it very easy to hear who's doing what part. The voices are distinct enough where you can tell it's 2 different characters, but I don't know. The visuals help. It's nice. Yeah, I really enjoyed hearing this, having the back and forth, and them together at times, finishing each other's lyrics. It was fun. It was fun, and it made me feel like there's something. It's a very emotional song, and it also made me feel like there's something bigger here as well. This is the kind of song that would play in the background when you first see some fantasy world for the first time, some opening shot to like the fields before you or something like that. That's kind of what I was envisioning. And not only that, but also at winter time, because we have a lot of references to snowflakes and ice and all that jazz. It gives you a lot of imagery about snow, how people are snowflakes or something, and then there's talk about flowers and the pitch black snowy night, the illusion of warmth. It feels like there is like the world is cold. Snow and cold imagery, just all that stuff really has to do most of the time with either something that is beautiful, it resembles something that is stagnant, something that could represent death or misfortune, I should say. But at the same time, snow is beautiful, especially when untouched. So there's a lot of this. There's a lot, like, it's right in this song. It's both. I feel like it's both. It's kind of like everything looks great and peaceful, but then it gives you the imagery of like a pitch black snowy night. Yet, like, you know, you are the flower, you are the snowflake. You're the thing that kind of shines through. But there's also this illusion of warmth because everything around us is actually pretty dire. I'm getting the feeling that there is a lot of symbolism, a lot of metaphor for this ongoing struggle, how the world is not fair, and but being with you makes it better. Makes it seem better. It's not better, but at least I feel okay. Like, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this song. Either way, it's very pretty, and yeah. I feel like it's just it's a very nice sounding song with a very deeper sad meaning. Maybe there's like a little hope tossed in there, but it's melancholy, I think, is the word I'm looking for. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. This one is Sennen no Hane, Kobayashi Mika Fuhua. It's a Viet sub.
千本の刃奏でる彼岸の夜風黒風が吹き抜け
What are the chances? Aha! Let's start that over. Good thing I checked.
千本の刃奏でる彼岸の夜風黒風が吹き抜ける宮殿の片隅無情の風千年の羽儚い祈りが囚われの翼さまようより時を越えて虹色の羽が血塗りの道で天下を浴びよ千本の椿唱える彼岸の夜雨非常な雨濡れた人宮殿の片隅無名の淵千年の羽儚い祈りが囚われの翼さまようより時を越えて虹色の羽が血塗りの道で天下を浴びよう風に乗って時を越えて風に乗って時を越えて儚い祈りが囚われの翼さまようより時を越えて儚い祈りを守りの道で海を抱いて
Okay. So, oh man. This song definitely caught me by surprise. It started very quiet for the most part. Very calm and subtle, and I was under the impression that it was going to be like the previous song we listened to, where, like, yeah, there was a guitar moment, an electric guitar moment in the other song that made it kind of like intense, but this one just flips a switch on you and it immediately goes into like, all right, we're just gonna be epic now, you know. And I really love it. I really just like how it has this driving force behind it the entire time. And a lot of the visuals are very pretty, obviously taken from the manga, I imagine, or maybe some cutscenes from the game that are more rather like images than full-on animation. My guess, I'm not sure, but the art is beautiful. And Fuhua, from what I remember, is a character that I really like from this game. As far as how I've seen how her playstyle works and her story, from what I can remember of it, because it's been a hot minute, so I don't really remember. But I know that she's been around for a really long time and has gone through all sorts of transformations, right? And it's also cute. But I think, yeah, just seeing like all these different sides of her, maybe not sides is the right word, but you know, like all these different moments of her in the visuals with the intensity of the song and how the song itself seems like persistence, if that makes sense. It has just like this very poetic nature throughout the song, but mostly in the beginning of it. And then, you know, fleeting prayers, the wings of captives, rather than wander lost, they surpass time, rainbow wings, a lot of giving you a lot of visuals about wings based on the lyrics. Bask in the fire from lightning upon a bloodstained path. How? That's so intense. That's so cool. The lyrics themselves give you great, even without the amazing background imagery that they showed. If it was just the lyrics, they're so powerful sounding. Just this intensity of, you know, going through time, surpassing time, living for a long time, and they keep saying wings, which makes me think of like freedom and such. Wings are usually associated to freedom because you think of birds and the ability to fly anywhere. But at the same time, there is a restraint. There is this bloodstained path, basking through fire. Like there is this whole element of, I don't even know the words I'm looking for, but it feels very, very epic. Like I said, the lyrics seem a little contradictory with, like, you know, like I said, like using wings, but talking about like this path and referring to these 1,000 years, and maybe in a way that could be like a sense of freedom because it's just like a long period of time, yet they are still on this path anyway. They're free from the norm, but they're not free from what they're like supposed to do, I suppose. I'm not exactly sure. Man, really cool song. Really enjoyed that. So let's go into the next one. This one is Cyber Angel. It's Cyber Angel. All right. It's a Bronya song. So my apologies. The lyrics are behind my head. But there's no closed captions for the song, so it is what it is.
Try hard to soar to the heaven I dream. There's no exception in this library, for I know I will always go with you. So my wings been busted and could never be. I will try hard to soar to the heaven I dream. There's no exception in this library, for I know I will always go with you.
Okay. So, this song was 100% some dance mix. You're gonna hear this in, like, a club or something, I swear. Like, you could. You probably could. Maybe. They should. Maybe I'd actually go. No? Yeah, it wasn't that complicated of a song. I don't feel like there was some super deep message here. It was once again, there's a lot of perseverance. There's a lot of this theme of continuing on, of going forward despite the hardship, despite what you go through and what happens. Though my wings have been bloodstained and could never rid. You know. Then leads into, I'll try hard to soar to the heaven I dreamed. That right there, which is a huge part of its chorus, that repeats throughout this thing, because that's what this is. It's a dance mix, and it just keeps going, and it's the same lyrics over and over again, which isn't a bad thing. I have actually something to say about that in a minute, but back to this real quick, or staying on topic rather. Yeah. Blood-stained wings, and you can't rid that blood. It's like blood on your hands. It's like you're responsible for what you've done. But you're still going to try hard to get to the heaven you dreamed of, to get to the world you want to have, to create the peace you need that you maybe think that other people deserve. You're continuously fighting. You're continuously moving on your journey because that's what you feel like you have to do. And you're going to go through these hardships. You're going to maybe even potentially cause problems. You're going to try to solve problems. It might not be the way that you would originally want them to be solved, but hey, you're going to get it done to get to where you need to go. And I'm noticing that's like a lot with these songs. Whether I'm going to keep pushing on and fighting for you and in the process become numb myself, like with Teresa's song, Fuhua with the whole, once again talking about wings and the idea of being free, but there's this 1,000 years path and this bloodstained trail and like all this stuff. Like there's this idea of pushing forward despite the terrible crap that happens, right? And people will come out of it different at the end. There is no exception in this library. That is a line that, I mean, that, for I know I will always go with you. Yeah. And it's also a lot of the idea of not just doing this for yourself, but for someone else. So what I gather from this is that although I have gone through some intense stuff, although I've done some things I'm not so proud of, that blood is on my hands, whatever that is, wings in this case, I'm doing this to reach the heaven. And there is no exception whether or not I'm going to be with you throughout this whole thing. Like, there's this sense of not only am I going to achieve what I need to in order to have this peace, to have this heaven, I am not going to leave you. I've done some crazy stuff. You I will never betray. There is no exception. There is no, in this vast library of possibilities, all these different books of different stories of how this could go. No, there's no exception. I'm with you. And that's what I'm getting from this. And I think that's really cool. So despite me saying like, oh yeah, it's a dance mix, it's not too deep, there is still a message here. And I feel like it's much more in your face than the other times we've heard it, this kind of message, but it's still a really good message. Now, I do want to go into the lyrics a little bit, or at least not necessarily the lyrics, but I'm talking about the lyrics, but how they were sang, the vocals to this. The voice was a lot more high-pitched than I thought it was going to be. Very cutesy, not a bad thing. And one thing that I do think is cute about it, because I've mentioned this before as well, and that there are some things with the pronunciation, which is not terrible. Like, you know, like, this isn't like English is not their first language. Doing a great job, by the way. I always feel so happy and or just proud in general, even though I don't know these people personally, but being someone who was an English teacher in Japan, who has, you know, had students who were like, you know, singers or just anything like that. Like, there's these little things that they skip over or they don't pronounce technically correctly, but they still do a great job, and the message comes across anyway, and it's fine. And I personally find it kind of cute. So, you know, there is no exception in this library is pretty much what she says. She doesn't pronounce the library, right? She goes library, but that's fine. And then there was also, yeah, I just want to hear the chorus again real quick, just to, yeah. So, though my wings been bloodstained and could never rid. This singer doesn't really pronounce the D's at the ends of these words, which is fun. I'm just saying, this is what I'm noticing. It sounds like she says bloodstain and ku. She doesn't say could, she goes ku. Never. And then for rid, she goes read. And that's because I, in Japanese, makes the E sound. It doesn't go I, it goes E. So read. I don't know. Just like these little things like that. Okay. Once again, very good. She doesn't say dreamed. She goes dream. But, you know. And then there's no, except instead of saying exception, she goes exception. Which I think she's just trying really hard to find the right sound for the E in exception. And yeah, whatever. It's not a big deal. I actually find it adorable. And yeah, I just wanted to say that. Between that, like the cutesy sound, with that kind of pronunciation, but the message that it's giving, but also the electronic sound that this has, it's quite the mishmash, and I don't know, it just kind of fits. It just sort of works that way. I enjoyed it. I feel like this is simultaneously a song that you can kind of just have in the background and turn your brain off to and just kind of vibe with it, but also when you pay attention to this chorus, it's you'll then be like man, I like this voice. And then when you really pay attention, you'll be like, oh wow, there's actually an intense message here. Damn. So there's layers to it. I like it, and that's what I have to say about that. So, man, I've been enjoying these so far. Dual Ego. So, let's get into it. Okay. So, this one is theatrical. It feels very theatrical. I can... In the way that it's being sung, it's... The song feels weird, but not in a bad way because it's supposed to sound like this, in my opinion. It's kind of all over the place where there's a melody, there's a rhythm, and then sometimes it sounds like it's just kind of talking, and then there's whispering in the background at some parts, and then you have like the very strong hit of the chorus, and then the video did a great job later on to show that transition into the other side of Sela. And woof, Dual Ego is right. There's different sides to this song, and they're both represented very well here. It's doing what it's supposed to. I really enjoy the lyrics, and like I said before, like with the other song, not a native English speaker, but I think that brings some charm to it. And I'm not going to go through all the lyrics again like I did in the previous part to show like, oh, well, they didn't say this, they said this instead, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do that for every single song because that would get tiring for some people. And some people might think it's an insult when it's actually not. It's just kind of things I pick up because, like I said, I was an English teacher. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, first thoughts when it comes to these lyrics here with that, she's talking to herself, to the other half, that side that comes out, and it feels like there's a lot of, I don't want to get the word wrong. There's like a condition that kind of does this, and I don't want to say the wrong thing, but what I will say is that it sounds like there's a lot of dissociation. There's a lot of like, yeah, there's a side of me within you that is looking out, kind of like not understanding but trying to be there anyway and be protective, and then when you disassociate, I pop out in the forefront and I protect you. I am your shield. You know what I mean? And I feel like that sort of happens, at least from what I've seen. There's some big crisis stuff, and then the other side comes out and gets to work, and it's not, and depending on what that side does, whether they're violent or whatever that is, it's just, you know, it goes into like, there is no right or wrong. Like, this is literally just survival time. You know, I am the steel that will protect you. I am the shield that will protect you. Call out my name when you see the tide turn me away. Like I don't know. Like there's a lot of this like summon a part of yourself to the forefront in order for you to survive. And that side of yourself, of oneself, will do whatever it is necessary to make sure you survive. I feel like there's a lot of that going on here. That's what I thought of anyway. And then, yeah, long ago, buried heart. Could have something to do with like suppressing these feelings. Right away, torn apart. An immediate response to protect oneself, despite torn apart, like tearing one's personality apart into like separate pieces, separate personalities. You know, so it could mean something like that. Maybe it's not that literal. It could mean something else. Just, you know. So it hurts how it lasts. Yeah, till I draw one more last final breath. Where to go, when to come across a land bare and dark. Yeah, there's a lot of questioning. May it be the one for all. Yeah, I mean... And I feel like both perspectives of Sela could be saying these things. We have the transition from blue into red here in this video. And that could easily be both sides definitely saying these things. Possibly meaning slightly different things, but they're both still questioning, both still struggling, both still trying to do what they can to get by and survive the way they know how. And that's yeah. So meanwhile, that side that comes out to protect the more vulnerable side, they could still be at a loss too, because they're not connected to the world around them, really. They're just here to kind of do their duty, so to speak. But being out in the open for a prolonged time, maybe that leads to other problems. And that's what I think. Okay, so now let's move on to the next one. We will now go into new Valkyrie theme, Starfall, performed by Tia Ray. Don't know who that is, but I'm sure it's going to be great.
What is reflected in my eyes? Another moonlight in a starless midnight. Showers on the people passing by. One is so small and the world's so wide. Every step forward echoes a sigh. I reach out for the halo far up high. Deeply engraved my memories. Tell me when I forgotten indeed. Someone has come before is waiting me. As I remember all the tales, written inside this world, no more thrill. I'll follow all my heart used to believe. Crash against the barrier of the crowd, tearing up pieces in the air to show a very stop fall. I want all tomorrow, yesterday. This spark will shine and never fade till the break of day. Yeah. Deeply engraved my memories, someone I've forgotten indeed. Someone has gone before is waiting me. As I remember all the tales, written inside this world, no more thrill. I'll follow my heart used to believe. Crash against the barrier of the crowd, tearing up pieces in the air to show a very stop fall. I want all tomorrow, yesterday. This spark will shine and never fade till the break of day. Crash against the barrier of the crowd, tearing up pieces in the air to show a very stop fall. I want all tomorrow, yesterday. This spark will shine and never fade till the break of day. Yeah.
Okay. So that was Starfall. Now, I'm going to be honest because that's what I am when I do these. This song started okay and got significantly better as it went through. I thought the opening to it, in my opinion, was a little too slow. A little too quiet. And yes, we've had other songs do that, and maybe that's why, because I've already heard that a bunch already, and I'm like, all right, I'm kind of seeing a pattern here with a lot of these. Here's another one that does the same thing. However, they still don't miss. They still kill it when they break out into their chorus here in this song specifically. And then I don't mind the middle section where it gets quiet again. And I actually think that's important to have those ups and downs in the song, because if it was that high intensity the whole time, maybe it wouldn't be as good. Maybe it would be. Maybe it'd be better. I don't know. But in the beginning, I was just having a little trouble following it for whatever reason. Just because I don't know. I just wasn't really into it. It felt a little too whispery, a little too quiet, and I guess in the back of my head, I'm just kind of like, okay, so when's this gonna drop now? It didn't feel like it was leading up to anything, and then it did, and it was great. No, I think when they start belting it out, it's hold on. Okay, now we can actually see it. I mean, even when you see where the most replayed sections on this video, it's not even just me. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but people are clicking around the chorus of the song. Like, let me go here. It's building, and then most replayed is right here. So it's not even just a me thing. This is like a lot of people who listen to it. They go to this song and they're like, all right, let me just get to the good part. Not saying the other stuff is bad, but they've heard it before, I imagine. This chorus, the most replayed parts of this song, is phenomenal. It is so awesome. The singer really shows off what she could do in this song. It sounds very powerful, and just that, once again, I don't know music terminology, but her rhythm with it, I'm just gonna play it. So that's awesome there, because she's like actually extending her words very powerfully. She's belting that out, and then the next part, she like speaks a lot faster, shorter words, like sentences. Yeah, and then extend it again, and then the quick part. That's just good. That's just, I don't know what to tell you. That's just good. So yeah, this song went from like, if I was gonna put on a tier list, it'd be like, all right, it's a C. The chorus brings it up to an A, like immediately. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. As far as what is being said, I mean, once again, it's about like goals, about what the character has gone through, and then I believe like what they are trying to accomplish, and they're, especially during the chorus segment, it is making it sound like I don't want to say grandiose. I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is, but, you know, flaring up pieces in the air to show a fairy starfall. Just like one's radiance as they do their thing, and the people who look upon them and witness this, and just like, I don't know. It almost feels kind of like a witness me as I do me. Like, I don't know. Like, that's just kind of what it seems like to me. Of course, there's probably more to it. I am missing a lot of context. But yeah, it's just a very like, I'm a be awesome song. Watch me be awesome. The quieter parts is kind of like, it feels kind of lonely. Maybe like, you know, they've gone through a lot of stuff. We know they've gone through a lot of stuff. And then it gets to the chorus, and it's like, but I'm a kick-ass, and you're gonna see it. It's very cool. All right, let's move on to the next one. Honkai World Diva. It's Mika Kobayashi again. Okay. All right. I don't know if I'm gonna take the captions off because they're probably incorrect. The lyrics will pop up in the corner over here. Your gentle soul given to damnation is essentially what this song is about. How Raiden Mei started one way and ended up another way, giving in to, man, I can't remember any of this stuff. It's been so long, but I remember that she went into that other form. That very devastating, crazy form, and that is quite the thing to do. I imagine she loses herself quite a bit, if not entirely, by doing that, and that makes sense for this song. It is definitely a you were this and now you're this kind of thing. You chose this path for a reason, to protect others, but now you're bad. Not, I mean, you know what I mean, but it's that feeling of like a sacrifice that turns out to like not really be the best. Honestly, I'd probably have to I'd have to re-educate myself a lot about the actual story stuff to probably understand this even better, but I do believe I have the gist. I specifically remember that animation between Raiden Mei and Kiana. That's what I want to say. Kiana. I knew it was a K. I just couldn't. Kiana Kaslana. Okay. Yeah, Kiana. Okay. Yeah, because they have their relationship, and I just remember that being like a very dramatic moment, and that animation of them like kind of duking it out because of their different perspectives on what needs to be done is pretty intense. And I was thinking of that the entire time I was listening to this. Yeah, that's pretty much where I was with that. Okay. Very cool, very strong vocals once again. And this is Valkyrie theme Rubia. Okay.
Life blooms like a flower.
Okay, it's in English, so we're gonna get rid of that.
By the road, waiting for the one to find a way back home. Rain falls 1,000 times, no footprints of come and go. You who once went by, where will you belong? I feel your sigh and breath in the last blow of wind. Not yet, for the story on the last page is not the end. Life blooms like a flower far away, all by the road, waiting for the one to find a way back home. Time flows across the world, there is always a longer way to go, till I reach your arms, a melody for you. Up against the stream, waterways will join us one, tracing to the source. No more straight, alas, you will see petals fly, where love then becomes carol. Could you please hear my voice that hungers for water? Life blooms like a flower far away, or by the road, waiting for the one to find a way back home. Time flows across the world, there is always a longer way to go, till I reach your arms, a melody for you. Life blooms like a flower far away, or by the road, waiting for the one to find a way back home. Time flows across the world, there is always a longer way to go, till I reach your arms, a melody for you.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll just go somewhere and cry in a corner, I guess. That's fine. That's fine. You do that. You do that. That's great. Yeah, I mean, this... I feel like this is a song that they play at very emotional moments with things that are happening. Just based on the imagery that they're showing, there's a lot of sacrifice and loss happening, especially in the beginning portions of it. Yeah, oof. This is heavy. that's a heavy one. Once again, it starts out quiet, and then they have like the orchestra come in, and it gets more amped right around this part. The words that keep popping up a lot is time flows across the world, there's always a longer way to go. It just makes it seem like they're referring to there is always something. There's always something in the way, or there's always something that needs to be done before you can have what you want, or what you need, and that takes time, and time affects everyone the same. Well, I shouldn't say like time doesn't affect everyone the same. The fact is, like, time is always going to be a thing. Time is always going to move on. Time is always going to continue. It takes time to do things, to accomplish these goals, and things change over said time. People go through different things, have different experiences, and whether or not, if you're literally talking about like, oh, I'm gonna stop time and go into the past and blah blah blah, your time is still passing. You are still becoming something because of the actions you take. So I feel like this song is very much like, no matter what, gonna try to, reach for you, do something for you, get you back, make you proud, whatever that is, but it's going to take time. And that is what I was getting from this, mostly. Far away. So yeah, it's definitely just talking about like the struggles of going through these trials, tribulations, through time, the time it takes, whether it's a long time from now or very close, up the stream where waterways connect, going up a stream, you're going upstream, it's the water's against you, but if you get up there, the waterways converge, they connect again, you becomes one. It's talking about reuniting with someone, far away or by the road. Is it a far travel? Is it just like right across the street? Yeah, I think it's pretty much what I said. I think it's just dealing with what life throws at you, and then dealing with that in order to get back someone lost, or even in another sense of coping. It's I mean, it could be, I think this could be said in all sorts of ways, but yeah, that's how I feel about that. Man, that was powerful. This is some powerful stuff. Let's get on to the next one, shall we? I believe this one is called Moon Halo. Let's get into it. Okay, no captions available, so maybe we'll just have the lyrics on screen.
Some deserts, this planet, were oceans once. Somewhere shrouded by the night, the sun will shine. Sometimes I see a tiny bird fall to the ground. But used to fly so high. I thought I would have walked and a body started till I felt us so real. I will no longer think of chasing it when life is must be still.
It's this song. I know this song. That was rough seeing that whole thing. Ooh, okay. All right. So that's Moon Halo, and I've heard that song before, and I couldn't think of where. Where did I hear that before? Why do I know this song? And I remembered that it was from when I reacted to Maxor's video of Genshin Impact, because he uses that song in the credits after saying some unhinged things, as Maxor does. Really funny. But the song itself, hearing that the very first time, even in that video, I was like, man, that song's beautiful. And then I believe someone told me within my community that that song is from Honkai Impact 3rd. And now whenever I think of Honkai Impact 3rd, I think of Moon Halo. I think of this song. So yeah, it's beautiful. I really enjoy this song. There's things that I noticed about it for the very first time hearing this that I didn't realize before. One is that the song is in English. I guess, like, whenever I heard it before, like, I wasn't necessarily thinking of or paying close enough attention to the lyrics as to what was being said. But yeah, the whole song is in English. And I also didn't realize that it was a duet, that there's more than one person singing. Here it's credited to, sorry, I'm unable to read that first part, but Zoe and Tetracalix. It's a great song. I don't really have much to go off of here. Excuse me. But it's still very much there was a lot of lyrics that revolved around, like, I just feel like with a lot of Honkai Impact 3rd songs, there's this sense of either sacrifice or being lost or losing, death, all this stuff, all this like negative stuff. But then there's that little speck of hope, that there's a little something that, or like this drive that someone has to push through, to make something good again, to turn things around. And if I could give this song at least one word, it would be that. It would be hope. This whole song gives me a sense of, like, things used to be bigger than they seem. Like in the very first, like, you know, the not just bigger, but like more not things used just to thrive more, just be more alive. You know, the deserts on this planet were oceans once. So, like, you know, wasteland, world's over, but it used to be beautiful. You know, but somewhere shrouded by night, the sun will shine. The sun will always come out tomorrow, or whatever that is, or it might be sunny on this side of the world when it's dark on your side, or it just, like, there's always a light in the darkness. There always needs to be a light for there to be shadow. Like, it's just one of those things. You know, you can just go on forever with all, like, everything is, like, you know, sometimes I see a dying bird fall to the ground. Well, that's just sad. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just, but it used to fly so high. So it's just going back and forth talking about, like, things used to be amazing and things suck now, but it could still be amazing, or so, like, there's just, I get that feeling from this. Hey man, some people feel like NPCs. that are just going about their day in and day out and like not really contributing or doing much. Maybe they don't feel as special. Maybe they don't feel as loved. Maybe it takes a certain someone or whatever that is to really say something or to connect with someone to be like, no, you do matter. You are important. You know, so yeah, there is just a lot of like, I'll no longer be transient when I see smiles with tears. Yeah, I mean, I think it just goes along with what I said. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just going through, looking at the lyrics again just to make it's pretty much how I'm interpreting it, I believe. Yeah, it very much feels like it's reminiscing on a better time, but there is still this hope, at least for the people it's referring to, you know. Yeah. There was also a really good line that I mean, they're all good, but there was something in particular that I saw, and I was like, ooh, I love that. Turn into a moon that always tells warmth and brightness of the sun. I think that was the line. Yeah, I really like that one. Yep. Okay, yeah, that was Moon Halo. Sorry if I don't have a lot to say about it. I feel like this is a classic one. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a beautiful song. Probably one of my favorites I've heard out of all of these Honkai Impact 3rd songs. I'll probably share a few others when we get to the end of the video, if I remember which ones like really stuck out to me. But this is one of them. This for sure is one of them. Beautiful song. A post Honkai Odyssey 2 theme song. Oracle lyric video.
Carved on stairs, buried deep in the earth, long submerged beneath waterfalls, or triggering a thunderstorm, summoning gusts of wind, seething waves of sea, slapping on the reefs to make a voice tell us what to believe without any doubt, without any doubt.
I like this.
Never let us down. Tell us when to depart. For a promise true, for a promise true, despite the day of doom. Our bloodline stretches out one more inch with every heartbeat, reaches a fingertip that has been stained at the words on the page. We have done it before, taking heart of grace, taking heart of grace. It's hardly the way we still stand against the fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown keeps our frailty apart.
Instrumental here just kind of like
No
dipped for a moment in that.
one would be able to look down upon this world. So on is allowed to be born.
I have so many thoughts.
To believe without any doubt, without any doubt, never understand. We have taken the road far from its truth, far from its truth, despite the day of doom.
Okay. So in this song, I mean, okay. Going into this, I'm like, oh man, I like this build that they're doing. It sounds very oh, there was this intensity to it. I really liked the vocals of this singer. She had I think a deeper register than what we're normally hearing in the majority of these songs, and I really liked that change. And then there was a moment, I said there was a part where it dipped, and I wasn't talking about dip as in like poor quality or anything like that. I'm talking about dip like things got even deeper. Like you heard I think it was just like the bass or something, just like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I could figure out where that was, but either way, it was I don't know, like there was just like the switch up when it did that. And then for whatever reason, they started getting, I mean, obviously it's to be creative, but they got all sorts of experimental, where her singing, in my opinion, even changed. The style of singing changed. Where it started to sound more soulful. Like from deep within. And then they took that and they used her voice as an instrument. Like they contorted it and it started to skip. And it became kind of like almost like borderline, we're heading into like dubstep territory or something, you know? Like it was just, oh my goodness. They did some clever stuff with this song, and I'm a fan. I really like when they get very experimental with some of this stuff, and they come out with some gems when they do sometimes. But that's what I really enjoyed about that. As far as the lyrics go, over here we have taken the road for a promise true. For a promise true despite the day of doom. Yeah, I mean, working towards something, holding on to some kind of belief despite the end is inevitable. Here maybe they are talking about something literally, but yeah, and this song just felt like, yep, this is a song about an uphill climb. An uphill climb just because, despite the ending, you still do it because that's what you gotta do. That's what you feel like you have to do. That was pretty much the vibe I was getting at, especially from like the chorus element of this. Yeah, okay. Awesome. Let's move on to the next one. Yeah, so Iris, I believe. And then Numbers, featuring a name I can't say. Yeah, this song goes off immediately, so I guess let's just get ready. I'm going to turn captions on. Maybe I'll turn them off if lyrics are already going to pop up on screen. We don't know. Let's see.
it penetrate my heart so I can share your pain. If there's a way to God I can portray, I'm more than gonna be projected into words. If there is a way to take my car with me down the long street, another branch will go down, far wishing the future. The rays of your world will wake you up again.
Oh, that was it. Oh, that was quick. Hold up. That was... Wow. All right. I did not realize that was going to be that short at all. Okay. Well, I'm going to listen to it again, but I'm going to be pausing this time to talk about things that are being said here, things that I'm noticing. Just so I give this song its, you know, despite it being short, I still want to talk about it and not just say like, oh yeah, this, and then skip over. Okay, so in the beginning we have... Okay. Whew. That's a line. What a line to open up with. Yeah, the stars shine from their distance, shining with the light of their grand deaths and vacant space. Right. Stars are essentially dying, right? Like, I mean that, like, the stars that we see, they're dead. Like, they've been dead. And it's a wild concept to think about. And a star is huge, but to imagine something that's having that much of an impact, like, it is very grand and it's in vacant space, a lot of emptiness around. It's kind of like, despite these things being gone, you still notice them. You still see them, despite everything around you. Within all this emptiness, you still notice that, and that's kind of what I'm getting from that part in the song. What a way to open. Let it penetrate my heart so I can share your pain. Now this is interesting. You know, now talking about like how a beast wails, like its dying wail, its final scream. Let it penetrate my heart so I can share your pain. Empathy. You know, I'm getting the sense of empathy here, where is, if you are, hopefully, if you are taking a life or in the presence of something else suffering, you can somewhat feel that yourself. Or at least you would in if you were human, I imagine. Not saying you have to be all like, you know, sensitive and emotional to be human, but you should acknowledge that this is a death, right? You know, like I think of when people hunt. Some people hunt for sport. Not great, but in my opinion. But some people hunt. Well, I mean, if they're gonna be, it depends on what happens to the animal afterwards, right? If they are going to be utilizing the parts of the animal, like, you know, if they're hunting because they're going to have food from it, then sure, great. But if they're hunting just for, I guess I'm saying, like, poaching sucks, right? Don't, like, hunting just because, like, oh yeah, I killed this beautiful creature, like, that's fucked up, and you should feel bad. But if you're hunting for a purpose that actually helps people, then that's different. And usually those people have a better understanding of what it means to do that. Especially traditionally, I would imagine. I don't know. That's whether or not it means that. I'm taking it in a much more like literal sense, I think, but that is what that reminds me of. It just makes me think of empathy. Once again, still on the theme of death here, understanding death.
If there's a way to go,
That part reminds me of Attack on Titan, just with how he built it up.
I can portray more than cannot be projected into words.
Even though I know this came out way before Attack on Titan, so perhaps Attack on Titan reminds me of this.
If there is a way to take my car away, build out the long lost train, another branch may go down, far wishing the future.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so this is like Legacy, the song. This is definitely talking about legacy, what you can create for the future, what your death could potentially mean for the future. Will it stand out? Will people notice it despite everything else? Will it make a difference? Will people understand what you were trying to do? With the dying star, happened so long ago, but hey, if you were amazing, you're gonna be noticed despite the vacant darkness, despite like all of like whatever, you know. Did you shine bright enough to be seen into the future, right? So there's that. Then you have like the death wail and like the empathy. Like, do people understand your final wishes? Did they hear what your message was, what you had to say before you went, as you went? And now we're getting here, like, if I could go back and make it so a branch will grow and flourish in the future. You know, that's talking about legacy of the events you did back then and the things that you wailed, that you cried, that you tried to express. Did those turn into what you wanted the future to be like, what you wanted the people, the future to see, to experience, etc.?
The brains of your world will wake you up again.
And in doing so, although you are gone, legacy, a part of you still lives on. A part of you still lives on into the future because your message, your deed, your influence it came across, right? That's what this song is about, in my opinion. You could comment down below and say, actually, Roshi, it's about a turkey sandwich, and I'd believe you. But I think this is more poetic to think about it like this. Anyway, so there's that. And we have like this tree of life here, so that's cool. I know that trees are very important within this multiverse of this Hoyoverse, right? So yeah, that's a thing that works. Now, as far as I do want to be brutally honest about something about this song. The guy singing it did a really great job. It's very emotional. At the same time, without the lyrics on screen, I would have no idea what he's saying. I know he's attempting to sing in English, and once again, belting his heart out. Very nice. But the words, the pronunciation is very unclear. Maybe the most unclear out of all of the songs that we've heard thus far. Like I said, doesn't mean it's bad, but I'm just being honest that you're not going to know what he's talking about at all without the lyrics. And maybe you will. Maybe you can. But upon a first listen, no, you can't. Don't fake that. There's no way. Not everything anyway. So this song would have been very hard to understand based on the troubles with pronunciation that the vocalist was having. At the same time, still a beautiful song. Love the message. And seeing the lyrics, it really helped me appreciate it even more, so I could actually look into it, decipher, and come up with my interpretation of it. So great song. I'm glad I spent the time on that. Let's start with regression. Oh, we're gonna have some regression here. That's a thing. Okay.
Too much of the past for one to memorize. Too many words remain for one to read through the lines. The ebb and flow of the crowd flood the world and paradise along the path of time. Every night brings a dream, but the day relentlessly keeps me away. All the rest will be done whenever a choice is made. Every living soul in the fray is striving for their own safe place. Life is too long to end that way. Just a drop of water suffices. Solid roses by the universe. Personas played out on the stage will return to the self when there's a curtain call. Every night brings a dream, but the day relentlessly keeps me away. All the rest will be done whenever a choice is made. Everyone has their own
Still I wish to embrace the world with my thoughts. And you were true. Time to live where I have stood so long. Letting you go recover traces overlap. And then begin.
Ooh. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Oh, don't you worry. I have things to say. I'm just looking through it. Yeah, huh. What a name for the song. Regression. So this is about Otto. Otto, is a very, very interesting character. And despite not playing Honkai Impact 3rd, from what I have seen in the story and how he is portrayed as a main antagonist for a lot of it, I will say that he is probably one of my favorite characters. Now, let me get into that a little bit here before people freak out, because some people think of white and black, like it's just got like, what do you mean? Some people, because I've had conversations with them in the comment sections before, that when I say Otto is an antagonist, some people would be like, what the hell do you mean? He's not a bad guy. He's doing his thing for the greater good. He's helping so many people by doing what he needs to do and what he wants. And that doesn't make him a good guy. Sorry to break it to you. It doesn't make you a good guy. His whole thing in this game is selfish. From what I understand, from what I experienced, he's doing everything he does for one person and ends up helping others and also hurting others in the process of doing so. Some people might argue, it's for the greater good, though. For the greater good. Sure, he's experimenting on people and doing all this, but it's going to solve this and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, like, he only does crazy stuff to maybe old people. And, like, you know, it doesn't affect others who are healthy and whatever that is. Like, you know, he stopped the plague from being a thing and, like, all this. Like yeah, but he's doing it to impress someone to, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not because he wants to do good. That, from what I understand, that's not part of it. He's not a good guy. He's a complicated character. He's a very complicated character. And now I say, like, okay. I also say he's probably my favorite character, or one of my favorite characters from Honkai Impact 3rd, from the stuff I've seen. So, okay, yeah, he's a bad guy, sure. He's bad. He does bad things. He's done bad things. Why the hell is this guy your favorite if he put so many people through, like, suffering and stuff? I think because he's complicated, it makes it interesting. I don't think he's your stereotypical villain that's like, I'm evil for the sake of chaos or for the sake of being bad. I'm evil because I say I'm evil. And, like, that's not a thing here with Otto. Otto would never say, or at least if he was doing something, let's put it this way. in my opinion, Otto knows exactly what he is doing. The things that he's done. Everyone has different perspectives, right? From his perspective, he probably doesn't consider what he's doing is bad sometimes. Or if it is considered, sorry, I can't speak. Or if it is something that he does consider bad, like maybe he'll own up to it. Maybe he does own up to it. He's like, yeah, I know this is screwed up, but I still want what I want. He has his own goals, and he's going to achieve those goals by any means necessary. Sometimes it'll lead to good things, and sometimes it'll lead to bad things. He is a very, in my opinion, probably a more... I don't necessarily believe in alignments, but if I were going to pin him as something, I would probably say chaotic neutral, in the sense that I know I just talked about chaos and stuff, but chaotic in the sense where he does what he wants, and neutral in the sense where it's not necessarily considered, it's not for the sake of being good, it's not for the sake of being evil, it's a personal goal that he wants. But that could be seen as a villain archetype, because that screws with so many other people when that person is just doing their own thing for themselves. And if they're as powerful as they are, if they are as intelligent as they are, that could lead to big problems. I think Otto is very interesting in that way. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think... I think you can sympathize with the guy because he is doing everything he possibly can to get to his final goal, which ends up with his sacrifice, right? But yeah, I wouldn't call him a good guy either. I wouldn't call him a good guy. I lost my train of thought again. Sorry, my apologies if I'm repeating myself. Essentially, he does have like this ultimate sacrifice moment. This thing that supposedly redeems him. Although this is from my understanding, specifically the OG Kaslana, right? It's all been for her. So that's like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like that there's redeemed, but still doing it in the first place for a very selfish reason. And I can't say that I wouldn't do the same, right? If I was capable of doing great, powerful, and horrible things to protect my loved ones, to return to a point where they could be guaranteed to be okay and live happier lives, all that, etc., whatever that may be, I would probably do that. So now I'm a bad guy. And that, right? I don't think I would be forgiven for such acts in the grand scheme of things. Maybe, sure, some people would sympathize or understand, but at the same time, I still cause all sorts of problems to get where I need to go, to get what I needed to do right. For me. For them. And that's not something I would want to be defended by anyone. Like, put yourself in... Or actually... No. Let's say if I was Otto. Let's say if I was doing all this for this person, to impress this person and to eventually get them back, whatever that is. I'm trying to cure the plague. I'm trying to cure this crazy disease. I experiment on people, on living people. And yes, maybe they were older, maybe they were sick or towards the end of their life, or whatever that may be. We'll think of all the excuses you want. And some people out there would be like, yeah, you're doing something for the greater good. This is fine. Those people were probably going to die anyway. Well, what if it was your grandma? What if it's like, cool, glad you feel that way. Give me your parents. Give me your parents. Not so much a nice guy anymore now, am I? But hey, I'm saving everybody. Fuck your family, though. Anyway, so that's just kind of where I'm at with this guy in my head, where I think he's cool because of how complicated he is. These characters interest me. These characters who are very, very intelligent, and with that intelligence, they do great and terrible things for a personal goal. Another comparison that I think I've made with this character before, not exactly, but I think of like Mr. Freeze from Batman. Guy's a brilliant scientist, and could do a lot of good, but he got screwed over and he's trying to save his wife. He does everything he does for his wife. So yeah, he's a villain, but at the same time, he does what he does for a loved one, and it's kind of like, can you fault him for that? Would you not do the same if you were able to? I don't know. That's just kind of what I think about when it comes to these characters, and I love that about these characters. So yeah. I also think you can have a favorite character, or you can like a character a lot, even if they're a villain. I know some people have a very hard stance, like, no, they're a bad guy, that means they're a bad character, and that's not the same thing. Bad guys are sometimes, in my opinion, better characters because they're deeper than our heroes. Sometimes, not all the time, but a lot of the time, there's a villain is essentially someone who could have been a hero, but they went down a different path. And I think that is interesting. I think that's what makes a good villainous character. So I would say that's what makes Otto interesting to me. You don't have to necessarily agree, but I think that's what that is. At least that's what that is to me. That's what it is on, like, written, essentially. If you go, whether or not you think that Otto is a villain, he is treated as the antagonist of the story. You are up against him for a good portion of the story, I believe. So whether or not you may think he is a villain, he is certainly treated as an antagonist. He is someone who opposes the heroes. From my understanding, once again, I am talking a lot for someone who hasn't played the game myself. I don't know, maybe someday in another life, I will actually get to play the game, and perhaps my opinion will change. I don't know. It also depends on the perspectives you see, right? From the perspective that we are given, I'm pretty sure we see it as he's not so good, but I digress. This has been a lot of fun. Right now, we are moving on to our next video. We have True. Is that just a lyric, or is that the name of the song? That might just be a lyric. It's Alicia theme song. It's the Alicia theme song. All right. Maybe the song is called True. Oh, wow. We are in another realm. Much different vibes.
Say my name when a tree suns rays. Once and again, telling a story lost in time. The way it starts and the way it ends. Never again making a story seem dismayed. With zero stars, but just one end. How I love to embrace the future breaking out of shades from the past, still ablaze. Save your tears for the day so far away. To irrigate the wilderness that still can see in the world, waiting to be lit, to spread over the river that's so dry and dead. Let ships that run aground relaunch their sails. How I love to embrace the future breaking out of shades from the past, still ablaze. Seeds bear new life when flowers that petals linger far, awaiting one last dance, shaking up all the dust from the past. New stories have yet to start.
Okay. Wow, what a switch up we had here. So what really stuck out to me was more so of the of like, I don't know, its overall sound, how it really started with like this bubblegum pop techno kind of feel to it, very light, very fluffy, and then we have like this elegant voice sing throughout the whole song, and then there's a break where it goes back into that again, then it comes back out, and it's this. Wow, they're very poetic lyrics here. It feels like this is just the beginning of like a new world. Like a restart to everything. New stories have yet to start. Yeah, I mean, it goes back to that. In the last part, we talked about, I believe it was Moon Halo, where they referred to as things were beautiful at one point, but now everything is dead. This almost feels like a continuation off of that, where things are dead, but they will become beautiful again. Things will start anew. Things will become alive again. And although the past is there and it's very much the reason for why things will turn out the way they are now. I mean, yeah, I definitely feel like it's a transition from like before. Things are good, hardship, things will turn out to be good again. That is the feeling I get from this song. I think it's very nice. All right, now let's move on to the next. We have Da Capo.
When good friends are going away, will you wish them to remember your name?
I'm just familiar with this Tetracalix voice now.
Days are passing
Heard her a few times at this point.
away. Will you promise your heart remains the same?
Very pretty voice.
Never can we suspend the time, having to leave the tracks behind. There is a longer way ahead. After all, there used to be a storyteller who always painted the sunshine and the rain. One has to eventually grow up, spending a lifetime to taste the love and pain. Never can we suspend the time, having to leave the tracks behind. There is a longer way ahead. After all, if it's too hard to say goodbye, give us a try to sing around. You're the beauty of this world. Always shine.
Oh wow, okay, that one definitely felt shorter. Not as short as the one in the other part, but yeah. Okay. I don't know if it's just because of the singer of this Tetracalix person, but it definitely felt like, to me, there was a part where I'm like, oh, we're gonna jump into Moon Halo again. But I think it's just the way she sings. And then things switched up and it went in a different direction anyway. There is a longer way ahead after. That is a callback to another lyric that they did in another song, which I talked about, but I can't remember because it was 2-3 parts ago. And there's been weeks in between. So I can't remember specifically. But that line was said before. There's a whole lot of talk about time. If one theme in these songs is a tiny bit of hope for fighting for something, another one would be time. How time continues on. How it keeps going. This song is very much, in my opinion, saying that time doesn't just stop, it keeps going. Decisions are made, things happen, you leave your tracks, and it continues. And your best way of dealing with that is by being your best. And that part's in quotes. So that's something that someone actually has said within the game itself, I think. But I feel like this song has a lot of references to other songs, or at least one other song. I feel like this was said before too. May you, the beauty of this world, always shine. Yeah, that was definitely said in a previous song as well. And I'm not trying to call it out or anything like that. It's definitely on purpose. It's 100% on purpose, and I love it. That's why I'm just kind of like, where's it from? I'm gonna have to go back and listen to stuff. I'm gonna have to go back and listen. Not a bad thing, but I'm gonna have to do it. All right. But yeah, that's what this makes me think of. That it's just very much. Time goes on, you leave your tracks. Be good. Be a good like you're in control of your future. Just do the thing. Do the thing. You're in control of your future in every way except for being able to stop it. That's what I get from this. Very pretty song. I really like this singer, this Tetra person. And if I'm incorrect about that, I've just been noticing that name a lot on these songs. Maybe they're not the singer. I don't know. I'm just saying. They're doing something right. All right, next one. I don't know what the name of this song. It's like a symbol. I can't. That's the name of the song. Cool. If you know how to pronounce that, let me know, because I don't know what that is. I'm starting to get the sense that Tetra is not an actual vocalist. Now I feel dumb.
Here I feel the touch brought by the numbers ocean.
Or maybe I don't know anymore.
Souls now have reached out with double slits, casting straight away the dark in the world that stays. The night you set me free at the sun. I fly away a dream. Sail the moon and back. A wall will turn into a butterfly before I can answer who am I. After the ice floats into water, the sea and Satan will be a
That was a trip. I was not expecting a song to go like 2 minutes in, almost 2 minutes in before we got our lyrics for like 40 seconds, 30 seconds, something like that. Wow. But hey, It's not like a traditional song where there's lyrics all the way through or like a break for an instrumental or whatever. It's just straight up like, we're just gonna give you these vibes, and then we're gonna say a thing, and then we're gonna get all tricky with it. I don't know. It was nice. This one is probably the most abstract out of what I've heard thus far. And because of that, once again, I feel like it can be interpreted in different ways. It feels like they are partially describing a scene, but also within that describing a connection with another character, and then also talking about what that character does for them. How there is, because of this other person, there is this transformation of sorts to find one's better self, to loosen up. Yeah, that's what I'm getting from that. Let's now move into we have one more? We have one more. Okay. Before setting out, Japanese dubbed edition. Okay.
旅の終わりに月別れ道へ空っぽの手のひらすべてを包んで幾度も思い出すあの姿目に映るこぼれる日ページをくる手を止めるつまずくのは怖くない君がいるから涙も喜
Okay. I just realized that we had the captions on, but they also had the lyrics on the screen anyway, so we were getting them twice. And with that said, I was mostly watching the visuals. Sorry, my attention moves towards the visuals when I see them because of my animation background. But I did get the general message. I was confused for a moment where I'm like, they turned her into a spaceship and sent her away, but then she's right there. She's fine. Everything's fine. One part that I really liked, I think it was a little thing. I don't think it was here. Was it over here? I believe it was around the 250 mark. Yeah, it was around this part where you actually had more of like the electric guitar kick in too, and that made it feel, I don't know, that something about that made it pretty emotional. Also with the lyrics here, like, you know, you've never left. Yeah, even if we don't share the same future, you've never left. I mean, this song's about friendship, man. It was just a very sweet, wholesome song. I really liked seeing all these characters, because usually when we've seen these characters in other things, there's a lot of, man, we're gonna die. Oh man, things are stressful. Oh, this is tough. So this was cool to get like a slice of life moment in this video. Whether or not this is a video that's specifically made for the song or it's a cutscene from elsewhere, it was still really nice to see, in my opinion. And it was good. There's just, I watched this and I felt nostalgic. I remember a time like at night having this kind of now I know that actually I don't know. I know it's a Chinese game. I know that this is a Japanese dub of the song as of right, like in this version that I listened to. I'm not sure where a lot of the characters take place in. I don't know if they take place in China, if they take place in Japan, like where the game is written in as like its main location. I know they're like all over the world and history and space and time and all this stuff, but like within this setting right now, I am unsure. But what I will say, this does remind me of Japan having like that I don't know, just having like that night out with friends where you're sitting and you have like all this food on the table. You have hot pot and you're just chilling out and having a good time with like the lights up around like the tent or something like that. It definitely seems, from what I understand, like seeing the visuals here, these characters are getting together to do something for this person, I believe, right? Is it that person? This person, yes. I don't know. Like, it's just, I got good vibes. This song was just good. It was just good vibes. The song, good wholesome vibes. The song, and it was definitely very much about like this togetherness. How, despite what once again referring to like time and like paths you take and stuff like that, it's just talking about that human connection, that emotional connection that people can have with each other, and despite what you do, what you move on to do, which direction you go, that's different from the other person's. you still you can still have that friendship. You can still have that respect and that knowing of that person. For example, like with me, I've lived in Japan for 5-6 years ish, and I had some friends from my hometown that I didn't talk to at all during that time I was gone. Now, I have nothing against those friends at all. It's just life took me in a direction and I was focusing on that life, and I don't know. I did not stay in contact. But when I returned and I saw them again, it's like nothing changed. And that's how you know you have like a true friend, where you realize like you don't get caught up in this whole like, oh man, they didn't respond to my text, or like, oh god, they must hate me because of this whatever thing happened that happened forever ago. Like all this random like you can't be worried about any of that shit. If they're your friend, they're your friend. You'll catch up with them. If you see them again, you see them again, and it should be fine. Yeah, it's nice to keep in contact with people. I wouldn't recommend not keeping contact with everyone because not everyone feels the same. But at the same time, if you're that comfortable with it, if you know, like if you have that kind of relationship with someone, I think it's the same kind of relationship where you can just sit in a room with a friend or just be like in the car with them and like not even say a single word, but you're both cool with it. You know what I mean? Like it's just that being able to just be yourself and to be chill and to connect with someone that way, and you know that no matter what happens, you're good. You're both good. So that's what this song made me really think about mostly. Just that connection you could potentially have with someone, where you know that you will always be there or they will always be there in some aspect, whether it's now, later, when needed, whatever that is. Yeah, that's what I felt while watching this. And man, what a great playlist. What a great playlist of songs. Now, I apologize if I missed anything. Like, I'm sure there's music probably for Honkai Impact 3rd Part 2, I imagine. I believe this was all Honkai Impact 3rd, the original stuff. So if you are seeing this and you are like, hey, where's all the other music? Then my response to you is that this isn't that video. If there is more music, then I'd be more than happy to listen to that and or watch in the future in a different video where I do cover Honkai Impact 3rd Part 2 stuff. This is not that, but it could be someday if you enjoyed this. So let me know by leaving a like and expressing that in the comments. But yeah, that's essentially what that is. This was thoroughly enjoyable. I will say, I do want to think, what were my favorites? What were my favorites here? We have, I think Befall is one. Befall is up there. Befall is the song that went with the best finger snap of all time that I've ever seen. Thanos, eat your heart out. That someone's not gonna like that comment. Whatever. There was that. There was definitely Regression is up there. Oh, and Moon Halo. Yeah. Other ones too, of course, but off the top of my head, Sen no Hana was also good. Or, oh, and then I see, god damn, there's a lot. Because then I'm like, oh, but there's Rubia too, you know, like, oh man, I really liked the Teresa song. Jesus. All right, now I'm gonna say Befall, Regression, and Moon Halo were probably my top 3 of this playlist. What are your top 3 of this playlist, if you can choose? It's a really hard pick. I could, depending on the day, I could swap a lot of these with each other. But that is essentially that. Like, for example, there's also the Iris song, which is really short, but I really like its meaning. You know? I thought the meaning that I got from that was really cool. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with Regression, Moon Halo, and Befall. Not necessarily in that order, but those are the ones that I think really hit me for different reasons. But yeah, that was this video. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching me ramble on about this. I appreciate it. If you have some thoughts you'd like to share, then please feel free to do so in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I recommend you do so. I would highly appreciate it. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, shine on, you crazy diamonds. Later.
A shoulder for